Hello, hello. Welcome to Chapter 6 and Real Algebra. We are starting solving equations, and this, my friends, is the meat and bones of algebra. Woohoo! Here we are. Okay, super excited about this. Today we are solving one-step addition and subtraction equations. Okay, now I'm going to say this a lot of times. We're going to write it down now, and we're going to write it down lots more times. The goal of algebra, is to get the variable alone on a side of the equal sign. Alone on a side of the equal sign. Okay, we want to get the variable by itself. So we want to end up in a place that looks like x equals 4 or y equals negative 3.7 or something. Okay, variable alone on one side, constant alone on the other side. Done and done. Okay. So we do this, and this is a Sanford definition, obviously. We do this by undoing the math that is with the variable or on the same side. Okay? And that's basically it. So let's talk for just a second about our opposites, right? If we have addition showing, to undo addition, we subtract. If we have subtraction showing, to undo subtraction, we add, right? Because we talked about having like a negative 3x and a positive 3x. Negative 3x plus 3x like goes away. And that's essentially what we're doing. Okay, so let's do some practice problems and see how this is really going to work. Now, again, in the world of algebra, showing your work is so important. Okay, so we've got x plus 4 equals 2. Okay, now right now, I know you could probably look at that and just guess what number to put in there. Problem with that is equations will get way more complicated than this to a point where you can't just look at it and guess. So I'm going to teach you the steps on how to do it on easy things before things get more difficult. Does that make sense? Okay, so our goal is to get the variable by itself. Right now, with the variable is a plus 4. If we want to get rid of this plus 4, we can minus 4 from it. But this equal sign here is kind of like a balance. And if we take 4 away from one side, we have to also take 4 away from the other side to keep it even, equal, like we have to keep it equal. Okay, sometimes if you want to, you can draw like a dotted line down that equal sign to help you remember that what you want to have one of whatever you're doing on one side and one of whatever you're doing on the other side. Okay, then we traditionally draw a line like this. We didn't do anything to the x, so it just comes right on down. Positive 4 minus 4 gets us 0. Do we have to write 0? No, because it doesn't change the value. Bring down the equal sign, and now we've got 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. Algebra. That was it, my friends. That was it. And then you put your answer in a box, and it feels so good. Okay, now another cool thing about algebra is that you don't even have to check your answers in my book or in the back of the book or whatever. You can check your own answers, and I love that part about algebra. Okay, what you do is you can just take the number that you just got and put it back in to the equation and see if it works out. Okay, so we can put it in, and it is negative 2 plus 4. Does that equal 2? Negative 2 plus 4. That does indeed. We got the right answer. Okay, now I'm not going to make you do that on every problem, but just know you can do that on every problem if you want to. All right, let's try. We're going to do lots of practice problems just because there's lots of different variations. Okay, variation number 1, we can put the variable on the right side of the equal sign. What? So -5 equals b plus 8. Okay, so again, this time the variable's on that side of the equal sign. Guess what? That's fine. It doesn't matter which side it's on. And really, it's an equal sign, so you could switch both sides. You could just flop the whole thing if you really wanted to. Just don't lose your negative. Okay? But we don't have to. We can totally leave the b right there. Our goal, again, is to get it alone on a side. Right now, with the b, we have a plus 8. To get rid of a plus 8, we are going to minus 8 from there. And then we need to make sure whatever we do on one side, we do to the other side. Okay? -5 plus -8 is going to be -13. Bring down the equal sign. Bring down the b, and then 8 minus 8 is 0, and I don't have to write 0 because it doesn't change the value. Thank you, additive identity, and we're done. Okay? There we go. Like, this is algebra. This is it, friends. Oh, I love it so much. Whew. All right. Let's do this again. X plus 6 equals 9. So right now, we've got, with our variable, we want to get our variable alone. We've got a plus 6. So we're going to subtract 6 to make that a 0. And you want to make sure your minus 6 is over here. Some people like do -6 and -6. And I'm like, you can't even, anyway, I don't get it. But I'm just saying I've seen that. All right. So, and then this is, just like with your long addition or whatever, that's kind of your equal sign. Bring down your x. Positive 6 and a -6 gets us right to 0. I'm not going to write the 0. Bring down the equal sign. 9 minus 6 is 3. Again, I know you can look at this and just know. I realize that. That's not the question. The thing is we're practicing these steps. Because again, once you get into higher levels of algebra, you'll get equations that take up an entire row of paper. Okay? You have to know the steps. Practice doing the steps. Next one, we have some bigger numbers. 118 equals C plus 158. Bigger numbers doesn't matter. We can do it with decimals. We can do it with fractions. It all works. Okay? We want to get our variable by itself. Right now we have a plus 58. So to get rid of that, we're going to do a plus 158. So we're going to minus 158, minus 158. Again, make sure you have 1 on each side of your equal sign. And then 118 minus 158, and absolutely you can do that on your calculator. You can't actually solve the equation on the calculator, but you can use it for calculations. Calculator, So that's -40. Bring down the equal sign, bring down the C, and then that turns into 0, so it essentially disappears. Dun, 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 dun. Drawing the boxes makes me happy. Alrighty. Practicing, and then we'll do a couple of story problems, because really I think the biggest challenge when it comes to algebra and story problems is just translating from words to numbers and letters. So here we have again, y minus 3 equals 4. I know you can look at that and just answer it. That's not the point. The point is practicing. Our goal is to get the variable alone. Right now we've got a minus 3 with it. To undo subtraction, we use addition. Okay, because again, that gets us to 0. I told you we were going to use that idea all the time. Okay, so y comes down, -3 plus 3 is 0. Bring down your equal sign, and 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, and here again, we can practice. Wonder why I have that written there. Oh, I think I was showing one of the equations for why we want to learn the steps. And this is actually something that you might actually see close to this year. You could have something like negative 7x plus 4 equals 5x minus 3. Okay, can you just look at that and know what number we can put in for x to make that all work out? No, you can't. But if you learn the steps that we're learning, then we can figure it out and figure it out pretty easily, okay? So anyway, this is like still not that complicated. Alrighty, we're gonna do a few more subtraction and then a story problem or two, and then we'll be done. So Q minus 8 equals negative 9. All right, right now we want to get a variable by itself. It's got a minus 8, so to get rid of that, we're gonna do an add 8, and we wanna do that on both sides of the equal sign. And then we can bring our Q down, and negative 8 plus 8 is 0, so I'm just not even gonna write it. Bring down your equals. Negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1. Dun, 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 dun. Now we can put this in for Q. Negative 1 minus 8 does in fact give us negative 9. So we're done and done. Alrighty. Are you feeling good on the subtraction? Hopefully you're feeling okay on the subtraction. Again, it's just the opposite. You just want to do the opposite of what's there. I do want to go over a couple of story problems, just so that you can kind of see and understand what they look like. Okay, so it says a pair of shoes cost $25. This is $14 less than the cost of a pair of jeans. Find the cost of jeans. Okay, again, I know you can logic your way through this, but we need to practice the algebra. So the first step in algebra is defining your variable. So they want us to use J to represent the cost of the jeans. Okay, now so let's read this again. A pair of shoes costs $25. This is, that's a really important word. What does is mean when we're translating? That's where our equal sign's going to be, okay? So we've got a 25 on this side. There's our is, equal sign. And then we've got 14 less than. So that means we're going to start with the jeans, and we're going to take 14 away from it. Okay, did that make sense? Did you catch that? This is the hardest part, is translating. Okay, pair of shoes costs $25. That's your equal sign. 14 less than, that's your sign that there's subtraction. Then you just have to make sure that you've got your subtracting in order, because remember, subtracting is not commutative. Okay, so you want to make sure that if we did 14 minus J, that would be a very different answer. All right, so I'm going to put this on the paper just to solve it with a little bit more space. So we had 25 equals J minus 14. All right, so from here, I want to get my variable by itself. Right now with it is a minus 14. So undoing minus 14, we're going to add 14. And whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side, if that helps you. And so we add this together, and we've got 39 equals the jeans. So that pair of jeans costs $39. Dollars. Okay. Let's see. Let's do, again, I want to practice as many of these as we can together. The average lifespan of a tiger is 17 years. This is 3 years less than the average lifespan of a lion. Again, I know you can logic through it, but we have to practice writing equations and solving them. Okay, so it says write and solve an equation to find the average lifespan of a lion. So we've got 17 is 3 years less than the average lifespan of a lion. Let's call all of those things an L. 3 years less than L, so that means L is going to be first, minus 3. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on my paper. We'll put 8 over here. And so we had 17 equals L minus 3. Again, I know, you can look at it and solve it. I get it. Okay, but we need to practice our algebra-ing skills, because yes, I just turned that into a verb. Alrighty, we want to get a variable by itself. Right now there's a negative 3 with it, so I'm going to add 3, and add 3. Okay, 17 plus 3 is 20. Bring down the equal sign, bring down my L. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0, so I don't need to write it. So this means the average lifespan of a lion is 20 years. There you go. All right, hopefully that is enough practice problems for ya. And good luck with algebra. This stuff makes me happy, so I hope you enjoy. Bye.